Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's daily brief recap. Um, it's actually pretty close to the end of the day, I suppose. We did a very extra long daily brief today. Let's just make sure YouTube's working. Yeah, it is. Um, so probably won't do too long of one. If you want to come in and try the 30-day trial, you can listen to a good hour and a half of a Beamish rant here today. So, man, we talked about everything under the sun. Fridays is kind of like a free for all day for me, so I just sort of wing it. Who knows what the hell we end up talking about. But it was really great to see. I've got a bunch of ladies in the lounge that are all really proactive, really working hard at their trading. One of them actually sort of our more senior lady of the group, just because she's been around the site a little longer than everybody else. She was been a great leader for these other ladies on the site. I'm just so pleased with that. So that's totally for JoJo. And she actually, they were even talking about banging out doubles on Luna here today, which I was so proud of them. Really, really proud of this site. The site itself, this is now a 3.5 years I have been waiting to replicate my 1980s website. And unfortunately, as you can see, it's just not usable right now. So good luck, Sjord. We're rooting for you. Sure takes a while to get this stuff running. So can't really comment on the information I'd like to be talking to you about right now. So like I said, for the site people, we did a little bit kind of like a free for all. And my videos of late to the public have been a little bit disjointed because I've lost my screeners. Like I can really get a pretty good idea of what the market looks like, the tone, the direction, the trend, but it's all predicated on Sjord actually giving me the information that's usable. And right now, Sjord has said, sorry, Brian, big T's, not today. Fingers crossed, everybody close your eyes. I mean, fuck those key reversal signals. They're just insanely powerful. I think I showed you, I took one on a Canadian bank stock recently, and oh my God, just beautiful trade. But if the system ain't telling me what to do, I got to try and go and find these manually on my own. So there was that TD Bank signal. Beautiful. And there's just nothing I can do right now. I can't push a chain. I just got to wait for Sjord. Every single day, I have the same conversation. Anyway, was interesting. Sort of a big fundamental event. This Robinhood went public. Why exactly they want to go public, I have no idea. 835 million shares. What the fuck? It was kind of funny. We were joking. Like I was taught an old stock investing model by VSC Floor Broker many years ago. And the rule is we want to look for stocks that have about 20, 30 million out. So here, ironically enough, is a stock I'm very interested in. 22 million shares out, trading a whopping 16 cents a share. Market cap is like nothing. What is the market cap? $3.7 million. I mean, talk about getting in on the ground floor. What? I mean, look at this. This is almost laughable. The book value per share is minus $6.39. What the hell? They're giving this company a market capitalization of $29 billion. Is there any notification whatsoever here of value? I can't see any. And the irony of it all is, of course, we have a general rule that when these assets come out, usually they bottom out about 50% of the IPO price. So you can see they brought this thing out at about, what is that, about $38. So ironically enough, I'll probably be bidding just to pick up some cheap stock around $20, $18, something like that. So we will see. And interestingly enough, Kevin even mentioned it earlier that well, I'll let him tell you. What did LBR say about this stock, Kevin?
Oh, I think she tweeted out yesterday something along the lines of Robinhood IPO will mark the top of the market.
So there you go. You don't have to listen to a Beamish. Go listen to somebody smart like Linda Bradford Radke. I tried, through the presentation. There is the stock, and there is 50% of. This is probably where I'd want to buy it, not up here. But I tried through the presentation to just illustrate to people on the call how insanely risky this market is. And now we've got this crazy ass damn megaphone up top here. In fact, actually, it's one of these charts. Which one is that? Hey, when I do that, too many charts. Remember, I actually recently got rid of a lot of charts to try and help the computer a little bit. No, this isn't it. Oh, wow, this totally isn't it. I don't want to screw up this chart. This is gonna. I actually loaded this up to. Actually, I did a really cool presentation for Kevin yesterday, just showing sort of what I do here at TRI. And I don't know whether he's going to make this part of a marketing thing or not, but it was actually kind of a fun experiment to go through, just to look at all the various different markets I trade in a way. Like all of these are multiple doubles, triples, quadruples. Whether it be stocks, crypto, large cap, trading setups, things like bots, trading crypto, remember Doge, that nonsense. Trading options, Afria, which is a pod stock. This is a forestry stock. Hell, here's a warrant in the alternative fuel industry, electric cars, all that. Really articulating what it is we do here at TRI. So I spent a lot of time in the daily brief here this morning talking about this with the community. Now we actually take a personal approach to investing, and we started from an individual's perspective, not the other way around, which of course CNBC and really all of them, Bloomberg, whatever, right? They start with, oh, buy this stock, you'll get rich. And that's exactly the wrong way you want to approach all of this. So, again, you want to, we got a 30-day trial. You want to hear a shill on how you should approach investing. And of course, the whole sort of sales pitch, why we teach this course to begin with. How do we actually turn this investment process around and make it all about you, the individual? Because that's really the only thing that matters at the end is your account balance. Anyway, so interesting conversation I had with the site people here today. I think on balance, what did I want to show you? It's very difficult for me to show up day in, day out. And of course, I got to get the damn correct. It must have been off of this one, but I don't see it. So frustrating when I do this. It drives me crazy. I don't know where the hell the damn chart went. It was such a cool chart. Look at that. Now that is an asset that I could invest in. Oh my God, that looks so beautiful here. It's so perfect. And yet the irony of it all is there's anybody in the public talking about this at all? No. Very different, right? This is, well, don't worry about it. This is obviously a stock that I like. I think Kevin likes it too. So if Kevin likes it, then it must not be so bad. But what I'm worried about with the broader stock market, and you kind of think Linda Bradford Rashke's kind of saying, be careful. Looks like there could be a top in here. Maybe it's something along those lines. I had this most beautiful megaphone all laid out, but I don't know what the hell I did with the chart. Anyway, So if this is our megaphone here, just over the short term, I just did this very quickly. That quite literally means that we could easily come right back down to here. Oh yeah. This is pretty damn risky space. And Robinhood IPO middle of the summer. No real fundamental justification for prices to be this high anyway. It's not like earnings are doing great. In fact, AMZN, right? Boom. I thought this was supposed to be one of the darlings of tech stocks and all that kind of stuff. What the hell's going on here? Look at that loss on the day. Boom. 7% loss. Ouch. What are we supposed to think if we ever see the market smiling at us, folks? I'm not saying, I doubt it's a good idea to sell that thing there, but you got to respect this message. The market's trying to talk to us, folks. So your summary here, obviously, risk. It's going to be a lot of sort of cautionary tales. U.S. dollar actually has been coming off a bit. Maybe we have a counter trend rally back up against the highs here through the beginning of next week. Tough to say. This is kind of it's not really a very well-defined top, but I would expect some sort of counter trend rally with all of these kind of spiky kind of things. Once we finish that, then I think it's really a function of does the banksters get a whole bunch more free money from the politicians to keep the Fakezi going. If they do, then the Fakezi keeps going. If they don't, then I could see this stock market come off a good chunk. It's interesting, people were commenting on the lounge that the transports continue to head lower here. This disconnect is getting worse and worse and worse by the day. So Mr. Dow Theory himself would be like, there is major trouble brewing here. I don't know when it's going to hit, but everything says something's about to happen. Crude is up in its reload short zone, so we'll see how it acts there. But this son of a bitch might just keep careening higher, which is going to make that transport situation worse and worse and worse. Bonds have kind of stalled out here, probably going, oh, Jesus, is the crude going to keep powering higher? And if it does, then, oh boy, you might see the bonds come off in a chunk here. And I've said this before, that I believe that actually the bond market needs to come down here. So we are now, interestingly enough, at resistance. See that? That's interesting. Boom, boom. Hello, here we are. Also, too, good analogy. Don't take a trade at a trend line. Don't take the trade at the trend line. Don't take the trade at the trend line. If we can actually W out here on the other side of the trend line, okay. Break trend, down trend lines, that kind of stuff. Well, that's fine. But until that happens, be careful. And of course, if we go and now we're above the trend line, so it's not so bad. But if we go down, break below the trend line, then M out over here, then that's a major, major failure. I don't think that that's the scenario because look at the gold. The gold's sort of same thing. It jumped above this trend line, but the same sort of thing we said there a moment ago. Can you take a trade all through here? I don't think so. If you bought here, all right, now what the fuck do you do? I mean, are you going to buy this gap and go higher? Well, look what's happening now. The interesting thing about this, too, is this is actually a trade setup. Like I said, it's called Gap and Go. There was a guy who won the World Series of Trading Championship, like literally, it was a day trading competition, and he won it like 3 or 4 years in a row, just trading this 2-bar pattern. So he would just simply identify markets that, and Great Del Moody. I don't know whether you have this in your notes. Add it. If you want to learn this, of course, take the education program. I'd be more than happy to teach you it. But in essence, if you see a doji and then a gap higher the next day, a trade through that high is a buy signal. And Mr. Trading Championship, he would just go, okay, place a buy on a stop right above that level. And you can see here today, no buy signal. So nothing's actually happened here. But it is fascinating. Now this is actually an inside bar. And ironically enough, if we finish here today and then we open up tomorrow, beep, Monday. Monday. Actually, Monday's a funny bank holiday too, isn't it? Yeah, maybe we'll get some screwery around that. But if we open up below that, that actually becomes a sell signal. And we're probably going to zip down and test this trend line again, probably something like that. So just big goobly gawk. There's nothing here to do. So I get the feeling summer doldrums. I get the feeling illiquid markets, tons of stop runs all over the place. Very dangerous for retail investors. Be careful with your money here, people. Small caps versus large caps, still more floundering, lots of down. Some value names look really good. I think I showed you that BLI or whatever the hell it was. Just looks fantastic. This is a really good example. One of our longtime site members, the level 3 TA, and he's actually going to graduate to the level 3 instructor. He's a big fan of value investing, and this is one of his names, a value name down here. And I mean, look at this chart. It's so perfectly beautiful. And I think I'd said earlier, man, I love look at this chart. May be interesting for the YouTube audience. What is the statistical probability that this gap gets filled in? I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm not going to say it's we don't go a little bit lower first, but what is the statistical probability that this gap gets filled in? And it's very, very high. So, and you can see some of the value names are looking a little bit firmer, but on balance, most of the stock market is more. And now, like Kevin said, LBRs basically come in and said, you know what? Once this Robinhood IPO, just exactly like that damn Coinbase. Are you all going to learn now that the day that Wall Street gets paid, they pull the plug on the underlying market, whatever it is? This happens all the time, folks. So it doesn't surprise me. Like I said, LBR comes out and says, well, the day that they come out with this stock market darling, what do they call meme stocks, just fluffy barstool yahoos that really don't know what the hell they're doing in the market. They're all excited about this. The day that this thing comes to market, that's probably a liquidity event. And the cool part about it, like I said, $38, you pretty much know where the hell the bottom on this thing is. So let's see. Maybe Great Del Moody, did you listen to what I said? What should be the bottom on this thing? Maybe post a comment. Let me see if you guys are actually listening. So, with that said, it's probably not a lot to talk to you guys about here. There's certainly not a ton of buys. If anything, it was really cool that we had some site veterans actually booking doubles up in here on Luna from the buys that they did down below. My average cost, full disclosure, is about 6.25 or so, because I got some here and I got some here. So my cost is like right in this area. So as a result, my double level is about 12.5. So you can see they left me behind. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not going to cry. I like the look of this coin. I like the story. But remember, I'm trying to buy a third one of this. And interestingly enough, reload zones off of this recent range, candle body lows, 78.6s, uptrend lines. My level's actually looking better and better and better with every passing day. Having said that, do I have enough to actually call a top here? No, not at all. But this could be a 3-bar fractal, and kind of like what I'm seeing with like Bitcoin, for example. Dead cat bounce right off of the lows. And then, God darn it, they're going to put in an inside bar reversal. And that's kind of what I see happening on a lot of crypto right now. So, there's no hurry. Great analogy. Don't chase, don't chase, don't chase. Never did even get anywhere close to these downtrend lines. But now I'm starting to get anecdotal evidence that, this is what they call fading. We're up against all these old highs. There's probably a lot of pros that said, if we can get up into this topping area, I'll be more than happy to not only sell whatever I bought down here, but I'll actually even short. And that's a nice little inside bar fail. So I can understand why there are people shorting. It's not enough for me to go, that's it, the top 10, it's all over. Not even close. right? But it is enough to sort of say, well, big surprise, she stalled out. And if I was thinking, first stop target's going to be against this, you can see these two candles here created top of the range, bottom end of the range. What a surprise. 38.2 is right against that level. And if we lose that, then my hunch is good old reload zones right back down the bottom end. So that's kind of your market right now. Friday, Monday's going to be a holiday, one of these quasi bank holidays, not really a formal holiday, more like, hey, this gives the opportunity for the institutions to really fuck around with retail because a lot of the major players are just not going to be around. So be prepared. I mean, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if that liquidity pool is tested and they even come up right back up against these highs and screw around with this. I could very easily see us. Let's leave this on the screen for Monday and let's see if it looks anything like that through the next few days. Because my hunch is that's probably your price action. Kind of blah. So with that said, lower time frame players, I suppose I don't really have any reason to chase and buy up top here. So I can't even really justify that. What I would just simply say is if you do want to buy, just be patient and disciplined, work your bids and just see what happens. Other than that, I think that's basically the market summary here I wanted to give you guys. Sure hope you got some value out of that. Like I said, had a long rant with the community here today, sort of solo session. So if you want to hear a big old whack of Beamish rants, feel free to pop on the site, try the 30-day trial, and you can sit and listen to us talk about LBR setups and the whole thing. Okay, I think I can leave it at that. Have yourselves a great day. We'll see everybody for broiled chickens on Sunday. Actually, level 1ers are finishing up their course. So that means Brian gets to go on vacation relatively soon for a couple weeks. But it does mean that we're going to be super busy with exams here over the past the next week or so. Level 2ers, I'd love to see you move on to the level 3 program. In fact, I'm going to be talking to you guys shortly in your final class with Kiran today. And level 3ers, of course, you better be studying. And we'll have our final session tomorrow to get you set up for your final exam, which I'm going to try and destroy you all. All right. Have yourselves a great day. PMA for the win. All the best. And bye for now.